Hello, folks. Sorry about that. I think I might have clicked the wrong button or something happened. Something happened. I got clicked off of here, so get everything back on here. S- Get a Take a few minutes for everybody kind of get back on here. Yeah, I saved it, and all right. I do. I shared the video, then all of a sudden, like, man, it's stream. Like, should be on. Damn it. Uh, but give a few minutes here to get everybody back on. Okay, I am back now. Yes, I just got a Facebook notification that partial, partial of my little video there was partially muted because it was on it's intimate domain. Fight me on that. What it says on there. All right, let me try this again. Let's see. Copy. We'll do that. There we go. All right. Ah, yeah, that's going shit. Anyway, but yeah, I must actually clicked on something or something just went. I just looked over and said, manage stream. I'm like, manage broadcast. I was like, manage broadcast. I've been broadcasting. Hopefully, hopefully this whole time. They left me. But anyway, uh, yes, this is the episode of WCW Saturday Night. 4 weeks before Beach Blast. Stuff ready. Whenever you folks are ready, let me know. I'll do a little countdown and we'll blast this thing on. Yes. Be ready, ready, and five, four, three, two, one. Press play now. That was a cool move by Too Cool Scorpio. Now, I believe that's the center stage in Atlanta, where Ring Run shows is taking place. GC Game Changer Pro. Yep, there they are, masters of the powerbomb. But also, this past weekend's NXT Great American Bash. Yes, they were called the masters of the powerbomb. Oh, these poor little fellers. Who are these poor little fellers here? Oh, they didn't even give their names. They're like victims. Yes, Sid and Vader with, as well as Scott Hall, whether he was the Diamond Stud or Razor Ramon, they were doing choke slams before choke slams were cool. The Undertaker was too. It's 1993. Are they? Am I hearing that crowd right? They're saying, "Whoop, that is, whoop, that is." Whoop, that is. Tag team back again. Here I go again. God dang. Almost overshot himself. Said this, I mean, I just wish he had stayed focused on wrestling. And of course, there's a, if you hear it, it is Jesse Ventura and Tony Schiavone doing commentary. Nice. Yeah, that's Robert Fool. Gosh, see, I hated this at the time. I can't emphasize enough how much I hated seeing Robert Fuller coming out there. I mean, he could still came out there being a manager and dressed up like Colonel Sanders and still call himself Robert Fuller. But no, they got to call him Robert Parker. I mean, what the fuck? What kind of cigars he smoked? And there's the greatest wrestler on God's green earth, Harley Race. Invader Park? Was that Arn Anderson who just did Insecurity? Good gosh, what the hell is Arn thinking there? Austin and Pillman were a hell of a tag team, though. You gotta give them that. I mean, just they're talented on their own, but together they were pretty freaking good. You tell Pillman loved being a heel. Yeah, they did, but WCW doing WCW things. There's a nature boy. Okay, yeah. At this time in wrestling, the over the top rope rule was throw your opponent over the top rope, you get disqualified. But referee didn't see it. This is I get Ric Flair was pretty much fresh off that WWF run, so he probably was like, "Oops, I forgot." There's Big Barry. Yeah, I mean, it was good, but it did have a lot of bad moments too. It's the mismanagement stuff like that. But yeah, nobody knew at the time. I mean, except for stuff that did get frustrated at, like I said, the whole Robert Parker thing and the skit coming up. Because I remember Davy Boy came in at the time, and I almost thought they was gonna give the belt to Davey Boy or the WCW World Title. But I guess Davey Boy didn't get over as well as I thought that he was going to get over and kind of trickle down. And Doug, you ain't doing nothing, there, dude. Yeah, I mean everything was get kind of cheesy, and we talked about him. This is a young Mark Bagwell, but this is still during the kind of like that down period in wrestling because of uh the scandals and stuff like that. The thing about it, WCW is trying to be too much like WWF, kind of cartoony and stuff. But and when Bill Watts came in, he's trying to not get it there, but then once when Bill Watts quit or got fired, depends on who you believe. Um, they started doing or this vignette that you're gonna see here tonight is kind of expensive too. Oh, Teddy Long, what's up, player? Yeah, I was about to mention, uh, Teddy Long was a community favorite in Atlanta. Did a lot of charity stuff for the children in Atlanta. Fury of the Wrecking Crew. Okay, okay. So yes, I do believe this is Fury in the Ring of the Wrecking Crew. He is the brother of Johnny Ace and Road Warrior Animal. Uh, yes, the brother of John Laurinaitis and Joe Laurinaitis and Animal's son, James Laurinaitis, who used to play for the Rams and New Orleans Saints. And the other member of the Wrecking Crew was Al Green. He was the other Master Blaster with Kevin Nash. Uh, gosh, it was a long time ago when we did I think it was PWF, the one with Dusty did in Florida, and he was on there wrestling as a Terminator. Oh, they're gonna do the switch. No, it's gonna pull the leg. There it goes. Pull the leg, trips him, holds the legs down, and his foot's all over the ropes. God dang, Pee Wee. Oh, Teddy Long said, "We're not playing that, player." Hey, I was a former referee. I know what goes on. I think he would. Yeah, did for a short time. Teddy Long managed Bagwell and Scorpio, then managed Ice Train and Craig Pittman as well, and a few other people. Somewhere in the Gulf of America. Just kidding. Gulf of Mexico. Oh, God. Here it is, folks. Young Joe thought this this was badass. No, this was not badass. I don't know. Willie B was the gorilla at uh, Atlanta Zoo, famous gorilla. But no, there's her Willie B now. Good lord, folks. Ah, no, so here's not that I'm a fashion kind of guy, but here's you know Davey and Sting dressed in beachwear, and then here comes Big Van Vader and Sid Vicious, and their gimmick pretty much, except for one's wearing sneakers and one wears flip flops, which don't get the Sid Vicious flip flops confused with Paul Orndorff's flip flops. That's probably still up Vader's ass. Yeah, Vader's that damn. That damn mask was uncomfortable, so uncomfortable. Had to be. I mean, it's not only probably was uncomfortable when he was wearing it while he was wrestling. I mean, it looked cool. Don't get me wrong. That mask looked of Vader's looked freaking cool. Are you trying to marry him? Come on, folks. You're gonna have to say it with me. Yes, those were Oakley sunglasses at the time. Probably wearing probably what about $300? I think they're still about three to $400. Nah, I don't think so. Yay! Yay! Poor Harley. Poor Robert Fuller. Poor Vader. Poor Sid. Davey's used to it. He came from WWF. Sid was not quite used to it, but he did have his little bit run in WWF as Sid Justice. Why didn't you tell Sting that sometimes going click, click, click? Run, Davey, run. Oh no, they blew up the fucking boat. Oh no, they blew themselves up. Yay! They're not blown up. At Beach Blast. Okay, dude. Okay, it's so bad it's good, but still so fucking cringe. Oh, so we get to see Davey Boy in action. It gets time. Is that Tony Zane? I think Tony Zane was Mr. Atlanta in Georgia All Star Wrestling and Southern Championship Wrestling from Georgia. Yeah, Tony Zane. Yeah, I don't, if you watched Georgia All Stars Southern Championship Wrestling from Georgia, uh, Tony Zane wrestled as Mr. Atlanta, had a feud with Mr. Wrestling number two. Actually, yeah, it's kind of funny here. He's pretty much wearing the same thing as Mr. Atlanta, except for the mask. God dang, Davey Boy's freaking jacked at this time. A 30-minute suplex. Oh my god, bro. That was one heavy. That was one heavy fucker. But yeah, I remember when Davey Boy came back to the WWF as a single, and dude was just freaking jacked like this. I was like, good gosh. Uh oh. Comes that running power slam. That's going to do it. Uno, dos, tres. But yeah, I mean, it's not burning down somebody's house. I guess blowing up a boat. Gotta do. There he comes. Here comes the stinker. Gotta hand it to him, man. Sting was fucking over, dude. Whoop, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Yes, there was a song popular around this time called Whoop, there it is. and those guys milked that thing until that milked it till it was dry. Now, didn't some of the members of tag team like form another group called Quad City DJs, or just I'm getting confused with somebody else. I know Krosteen was the biggest he ever got, but yeah, this thing was cool. Yes, at this time they could not cuss a whole lot. Got in trouble for saying words like ass. The assassin, the legend. Now this angle I did like when Cactus Shack had amnesia from after he received a power bomb on the floor by Vader. Yeah, I mean, I will say, even though this was very cheesy right here, I actually dug this angle with Cactus Jack. But it showed that, Mick Foley has some range, but for some reason, I actually dug that angle where Cactus Jack had amnesia. Speaking of legendary people, man, William Regal, or at this point, Lord Stephen Regal. Davey Rich, no, shared the last name, said he was a cousin, or they said he was a cousin, but no relation to Johnny or Tommy Rich. And of course, hey, we talked about him earlier. The little Aussie, the little Aussie brother, Bill Dundee, but now he's being a British dude. That's Sir William. And I think Bill was part of the little booking committee. Yeah, this is before the Blue Bloods. Blue Bloods were another year or two away. Yeah, a few fans digging on Steve Regal, Steven Regal. He didn't mess up his hair bad. Yes, that's the same Fifi. I forgot her real name, but well, I don't think they're married anymore. He was married to her for a couple on and off for a couple 3 years, 3 or 4 years, I guess. Yeah, the baby's arm meets or the helicopter meets the jump rope. Sorry, folks. This chair's comfortable now. Oh, that reminds me. I wonder if I can share. In case you're one, in case y'all wonder what, well, see if you can like Google or search on YouTube. Um, maybe Honky Tonk Man's um uh talking about Robert Fuller, and let that explain it. And of course, if you watch the Dark Side of the Ring of the Plane Ride from Hell, Tommy Dreamer described Ric Flair. So, but somebody shared on Facebook that it had Robert Fuller and Speedos, and a caption read, uh, or the meme said, "I always wonder what Sylvia saw in Robert Fuller. Now I know." Something like that. It's that chick Donovan. He's going against Paul Roma. Paul Roma was decent. I mean, but I think all the national everything you ever saw Paul Roma was barely mid Carter job guy, enhancement guy. And if you think Chick Diamond looks old here, let me tell you, he still wrestles every now and then today. And he's much older now. And Chick, I mean, we're talking about late 70s, early 80s when he started wrestling. But yeah, Paul Roma is decent, but and he did have a great drop kick. His interview is pretty interesting. Paul Roma's. I think somebody's a little confused. Like it's like Chickster, you're not the auction barn. No, I mean nobody did. But like I said, most time he was in a national spotlight was in a WWF, where he was in a two mid card tag teams. Which I mean, I thought Power and Glory was an awesome tag team. They had a pretty cool finishing maneuver. Yeah, they did. And of course, this formation of the Horsemen really didn't have I mean, they really didn't have a fourth member. I mean, I know they had when they presented everybody, it was Ole Anderson, but another Hall of Famer, legend. So I mean, WCW at this time had talent, but like I said, I mean, so did WWF at the time. Um, AWA, I think, was battling its last leg, or they might not. They might have done one under at this time. I think they ended like in '91. Paul Orndorff, another Hall of Famer, rest in peace. Probably one of the best looking pile drivers ever. And see, I mean, Paul Orndorff here, I mean, he freaking pro, dude. Dude's being called Paula. You know, he's sitting there going, "Call me Paula. I don't care. I know I can kick everybody's ass in this whole crowd." He was a legit tough guy, even with one arm. And what I mean by that, I mean, look on his uh, right arm. Yeah, look at his right arm is a bit smaller than the left one. He had like a neck injury and some nerve damage. And I think at this point, while I looked at it, I'm like, wait a minute, something doesn't look right. Might have been probably been like a year before that. I think when he came back here as a heel and stuff like that, I really did notice that. It's like one arm is a little bigger than the other one. See, I mean, getting punched in the face, having his head getting rocked back, or rocking his own head back. And one thing I did notice, and I didn't notice it till Brad Armstrong shoot interview, how Ricky Steamboat really does a lot of selling with his hands. And Brad Armstrong was talking about his interview. That's kind of he uh, um, kind of stole that from Steamboat or borrowed that from Steamboat or learned that from Steamboat. Learned by watching Steamboat. But I mean here's another thing. Look how what in great shape Paul Orndorff is in. Um, like I said, that other arm was not functioning as well, but here Paul Orndorff is in the shape he's in. But now it's like, okay, how comes people are not? That flying cross Bible? Yeah, it is. Oh, talking about another legit bad mofo. Who is also a Floridian. And dude, fucking Simmons here was pretty over with the crowd. But apparently, yeah, Paul Orndorff like to beat up football players in Florida and Atlanta bars. That's what he liked to do for fun. Um, So, yeah, that was the, very cringe vignette from the beach to, uh, pump up Beach Blast. I think I might actually crank up the Peacock and I think it might be available on YouTube as well on the WCW channel. I might actually crank up and watch Beach Blast tonight, even though there's other stuff I need to watch. Like, I Know What You Did Last Summer. But, yeah, sorry about the folks. Yes, this is a little bit of a two-parter here. So, for those of you uh, who didn't watch it live, uh, remember, one ends all of a sudden, then gotta crank the other one up. Uh, anyway, yeah, it's going to have to end this abruptly because getting a little hungry right now. So, yeah, fix me some dinner. Appreciate everybody who checked it out, who uh, watched it, or who joined me in the chat and the comments. Also, if you didn't watch this live, leave me a comment. What'd you think about my little intro video for the uh, Facebook Live that I'm going to be a guest on with Karen Poole September 27th. So, yeah, let me know what you folks thought about that. Yeah, I mean, it was a good show. I mean, some of the stuff was kind of cringe, like that. I thought it was kind of cringe, but rest of it was pretty solid. But, but yeah, I just sometimes you just gotta have a big laugh at things that they did back in the day. But, yeah, I was wanting to do the AWA around the time that Vern Gagne was retiring, but couldn't find anything. I found the whole event on YouTube. I think it's like spliced from the WWE Network. So I was like, and it was like almost 2 hours, I think, hour and a half, 2 hours. So maybe next week I'll check out what we have in the history books and get some cool 80s stuff next week. We went to from the 70s to the 90s. Let's reverse it, go back to the 80s. We'll see what shows up in the history. Like I said, I want to kind of want to go through the day in the wrestling history. Want to kind of share a program that kind of correlates with that. Have everything kind of make sense. Uh, Makes everything a little more interesting, I think. But like I said, appreciate everybody tuning in. Appreciate everybody in the chats. Remember, leave if you're not watching this live, leave a comment, leave the likes. Uh, and if you're not a subscriber, help your boy out, be a champ, and subscribe to my channel. Uh, that will do it for me tonight. You folks have a good one. Take it easy. Until next time.
So long from the peach state of Georgia.
Ronald Ray here saying thank you for checking out my video. If you don't mind, go ahead and click that thumbs up button, leave a comment, and share this video with family and friends. I would also appreciate it if you would subscribe to RP2 Vision, where I cover the sport of professional wrestling from yesterday to today. Now don't forget to click the notification bell as well, so you'll be notified when my other weekly content is available, like Wrestling Trivia Tuesday, WWE Raw Recap, and AEW Dynamite Recap. I also have 2 live streams. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., it's Spot Show Live Stream, where I discuss the latest news in professional wrestling. And on Friday nights at 8 o'clock p.m., it's Wrestling Gold Friday Night, where I discuss the good old days of professional wrestling. When wrestling was wrestling, wrestling was real because it's still real to us. Folks, have a good one and take it easy.